Chessington World of Adventures is located just outside of London and is actually one of my most visited parks as I visit there over 50 times a year. So obviously I get a very good feel for the place and also what the upcoming additions could be and where they could be located. And in today's video I'm going to be talking all about that with 3 possibilities what Chessington World of Adventures next coaster could be. So as this park is actually more aimed towards the families, I will not be predicting like a B&M Hypercoaster or an Intamin Blitz coaster, because obviously that would look a little bit ridiculous in their lineup, even though I wouldn't argue if they got one, because I'm sure it would be absolutely incredible. But yeah, I'm going to quickly talk about the last 4 years and what sort of additions they've been getting lately. So in 2018, they actually got a retheme of their old log flume, and this is actually now called Tiger Rock. It's actually a really cool log flume. In 2019, again, they got another retheme, but this was of their walkthrough and is now called Room on the Broom, which is actually a really nice walkthrough. In 2020 they actually got a whole new land, and this is actually called Rainforest, and this held 3 little attractions, nothing special, but yeah, one of them was rethemed and the other one was just flipped round and again rethemed. But yeah, they did actually get a new miniature log flume, which was quite nice. And then obviously in 2021 they got their drop tower, and this is called Croc Drop. I haven't actually done a review on this yet, but I need to get down there, film some clips, but I have actually ridden it and it is a very, very cool drop tower. But that review will be coming in the upcoming months. But yeah, obviously now you're probably getting a good view of what Chessington like to add and obviously what they like to take away. So they did actually take away Ramesses Revenge in 2019, which was their only looping ride, and now they have got 0 rides that actually take you upside down. So obviously that's a little bit of a clue for one of the coasters that could be coming to Chessington in my opinion. But yeah, so now let's get straight into the video. So all 3 of the coasters are actually located in the exact same location, and this is actually located right next to Dragon's Fury, and this is actually a massive spot of just grass. Yes, there is nothing here. They have actually done a pop-up beach before and stuff like that. So my first prediction is actually an Intamin Rides launch coaster, something like Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure at Universal's Islands of Adventure. Yes, I can imagine there's something like this could be coming to this park, and obviously it may not have as many launches, and obviously it probably won't have the drop track, but if it does have a ride sort of like this, like a sort of motorbike coaster, I think this can actually look really, really cool into this park, and obviously a lot of people predict the same thing. I think if they really do theme art well, this could actually look really, really good. And the sort of theme I think I would go for is sort of like a jungle theme. And yes, I know they have rainforest, but I can just imagine if they plant some trees and it grows over time, a jungle theme could be really, really cool. Or maybe an Azteca theme, that could look really good. But yeah, they're the sort of themes I think they could go for. But in the terms of how fast this could go, I think it would only reach about 30-40 miles an hour. I don't think this will go too fast, but also it may have a little bit of a boost as well, and it may look quite good. And yeah, it may be a little bit faster than that, but I don't think it'll be that tall either. It may only be about 40 feet or something like that, so obviously quite a low coaster to the ground. I just think this could look really, really good at Chessington if they do end up theming it really, really well. So my second prediction is actually a Mack Rides water coaster. Yes, a lot of people probably wouldn't predict this, but I think a Mack Rides water coaster could actually look really, really good at this park. And yes, this is sort of like Journey to Atlantis at a lot of the SeaWorld parks, and obviously stuff like that. But yeah, essentially what this does is it is basically a water coaster. So it's sort of like a log flume, and then you go on a little bit of a coaster track, and then you go back into a nice splashdown and stuff like that. And I can imagine this looking really good on the hill, especially if it's climbing down the hill. It'd look really, really good, and especially if they make it look amazing, like they actually put some theming around it and stuff like that. But in terms of theme for this ride, I actually think sort of like an Aqualantis theme, something like over at Energy Land, what they're doing with Abesius. I actually think something like that could look very, very well into this park. But yeah, sort of like a water theme could look very, very good. And yeah, that's the sort of theme I think they could go for. Again, this probably won't be tall, it probably won't be that fast, but it'll just be a nice family coaster for this family park. So the third and final option is probably going to be the suspended thrill coaster built by Vekoma. Yeah, something like the one over at Tripsdrill could look very, very good at this park. And the reason why I say it could look very, very good is because it would have one or more inversions. Yes, this will actually flip you over upside down again at Chessington, and I can imagine this would be absolutely amazing. But also this could have a pretty tall height, it could have quite a big it could go quite fast as well, and obviously the track length could be quite long. But obviously the theming as well could be very, very good. I think in terms of theming, I think it could be like the first coaster I mentioned, sort of like a jungle or Azteca theme. I think could fit very, very well for this coaster. But the only problem is about this coaster is there is actually a coaster very, very similar to this down at Paulton's Park, and more worrying, there's actually a coaster literally right next door to this one called Vampire. And I know this is built by Aerodynamics, but yeah, they did actually have Vekoma trains, and this is very, very similar to this coaster. So yeah, if they do add this coaster, I don't think Vampire will have a life for that much longer. Even though I do love Vampire, I think it's a great coaster, I don't think I'll have a life for that much longer. So they are the coaster predictions that I think Chessington could be getting in the near future. But obviously Chessington World of Adventures may not get any of these coasters. I mean, they may get one, but there's a high chance that they won't get any. But I'm sure with whatever Merlin Entertainments will come up with, I'm sure it'll be absolutely amazing. And I'm sure they'll theme it very, very well. But yeah, that wraps up this video here on NTPC, and goodbye.